Alright, welcome everyone. It is the regular city council meeting for Monday, February 24th, 2025. I will call the meeting to order. If you all stand up and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please, Cheryl?
Dylan Meyer.
Yes.
Matt Charity.
Yeah.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes. Number 4, approval of the agenda. Questions, comments, concerns, anything on there? If not, I will ask for a motion to approve as presented.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second,
Second.
and roll call, please.
Matt Charity.
Yes.
Dylan Meyer.
Yep.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, number 5, I think we can skip, so we'll go down to 6, the consent agenda. Pretty short and sweet there. I guess I'll ask for a motion to approve as presented. There's not much there.
I'll make a motion for the consent agenda.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Dylan Meyer.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Matt Charity.
Yes.
Okay, number 7, discuss and consider approval of engineering expenses for North Main Street. Mark is here tonight, so we kind of talked about this a little bit last meeting. Well, I think it was been 2 meetings ago now. So we kind of wanted to get Mark's input on this. So I guess, Mark, I'll kind of let you have the floor, and I guess if you need information from us, or I guess just let us know what you're thinking out there.
Well, my understanding is that the county is doing a road project north of the bridge there on Z34. So that's bringing it to your attention that you may have some additional truck traffic and things like that on your portion of that, which is everything from, basically from the bridge into the main intersection there. What is it, like 1,100 feet or something like that. This is something, this Z34 has been on the city of Preston's radar for a long time. I found records where we gave an estimate in 2013 to reconstruct that, 2017, 2019, or it was late 2018, I think, when the last time we gave an estimate for that, and I think the city decided to go with an overlay, and you ended up doing an overlay in 2019. Is that 3 or 4 inches, you know?
I don't know that.
So you've got a substantial pavement structure there. You've got some reflective cracking going on it, so anywhere where there is a crack in the concrete pavement there, it's reflected through into your asphalt overlay, but you've done a good job. Crack sealing, I mean, anything that's cracked is sealed, so that's good. So you're keeping moisture and everything out of there. So now here in 2025, that's been there for about 6 years. I guess my thoughts are it might seem a little bit too aggressive to try to go for like any sort of reconstruction with this. Let's just see what happens when they construct this, and see what you're left with. Because you would hope that an overlay on, a concrete pavement would be, maybe last 10 years or something like that. Kind of hard to say how it'll affect you guys, but you do have a substantial pavement structure there. The fact that you didn't grind that down and you just added another 3 or 4 inches to probably what's, at least 8 inches of concrete underneath that.
Yeah.
The most I would see is maybe a little bit more reflective cracking taking place, but if something starts to break apart with it, you can always look into the next year then to do some sort of a reconstruction work on that. One thing I'd recommend too, whenever we're looking at reconstruction, you've got 4-inch cast iron water main through there too, and you've probably got a pretty old sanitary sewer.
Oh, sure.
So if you were going to do any sort of reconstruction, you'd want to be looking at the utilities also. I know in 1999, was it Miles Street little storm sewer, couple catch basins there at the intersection of Miles and, Main Street were put in, and so that goes under the roadway too, and it's probably in decent condition
Yeah, that's
there.
fairly new, I would assume.
But we would tie, sub-drain into that or anything if we were gonna move forward, but, my thoughts are is, I don't know, I don't know that it'd be the best use of your money to try to do something right now with the fact that you invested a lot of money in 2019, and I don't know, do you know how much
Did you ever find that, Cheryl?
Yeah, I asked Teresa, and then River City Paving did it, cost us $23,000 that we paid to them, so
Not too bad, I wonder what that, does it say how thick it was?
I just found out who did it, so.
Were they, I wonder if they were in town for something else, and
They were.
were they doing the main road there that intersects, or?
I don't remember what they were doing that time, but they were in the area, and we had kicked it around for a while, and we're like, you know what, let's give it a shot. They gave us a quote, and we thought it sounded reasonable, so we're like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is it's gonna last 2 years, 3 years, and we're gonna have to redo it anyway,
That's right.
So I guess the biggest thing with this, and I guess for anybody too that knows my fear, what it looked like before we overlaid it, I guess that's probably the biggest fear with why we're wanting to do a little bit more investigating on this, or getting your opinion on it too, because I know Matt was worried about the truck traffic, when they do that. I guess to me, I'm not so much worried about that. I mean, that thing has a ton of traffic on it.
There's a lot of rain traffic.
All year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know yeah, it's gonna be added traffic on it, but the way it's held up, and I think too, the biggest reason was we decided to do the overlay too, was because we knew there was gonna be other stuff. If we really dug into
Yeah.
it and wanted to replace it, there was gonna be more than just the
Yeah.
surface.
I put some rough numbers together, kinda updated what we'd given in 2018, but if you were gonna do, this is a reconstruction, assuming you're tearing everything out and reconstructing it. It's like 375,000 would be for an HMA, and that'd be 6-inch HMA over like 12-inch stone base, and assuming that we gotta put subgrade stabilization in on about a quarter of what's there, if we find unsuitable soils when we get in there. But that doesn't include any utilities, and I didn't update the utility estimate, but in 2018, to put in new water main and sanitary sewer through the project area, it was about 235,000, so maybe add 30% to that, might be 275,000 now. So you're looking at a substantial project. What's 375 and 275? We'd be looking at like 650 there. Plus engineering, just look at like, I don't know, 20% of that, just for your budget purposes
Right.
there.
Right.
So it's a substantial project to do a reconstruction on that.
Yeah.
I think you should, eventually you're gonna wanna take care of that. I just don't know if you wanna do it right away here,
Right.
Is there much cost savings knowing that they're going to be in the area now versus in 2 years or 5 years when they're not in the
Well,
area?
you would be publicly bidding a project like this, so, likely whoever's doing the HMA, if that's what it is, an HMA overlay, they'd be the ones giving the numbers to the different contractors that do this sort of work around here, whether it's Eastern Iowa, or Anstetter, or Top Grade, or Conley, or, they'd all be looking to get numbers from them. And if they are doing it in this time frame, yeah, you might get some better numbers, similar to when you guys were working on that stuff back then. So,
That's a big question I have. I mean, obviously, this road's been needing it for how long, it's finally happening, and I don't know when the next one is.
Yeah, that's the big question, Mark, is, and that's, why we wanted to get your opinion too, Mark, is now the time to do it? I know we just had a pretty good sized project last summer,
Yeah.
And it just happens to be this next summer that, you know, like you said, we've been kind of kicking this can down the road, it feels like, for
Yeah, it's
years.
been 12 years that we've talked about doing a reconstruction on this, you know, and I guess I would've thought maybe you had more money into that overlay. It's not like that was really a waste if you've gotten $23,000
No.
for 6 years.
No, that's,
You know, that kinda changes my tune a little bit on, you know, I think you've gotten your money's worth out of that even, you know.
very much so.
So, I mean, it is something where if you have the budget to do it, you know, it's something that is a need in your community, because that pavement is broken up quite a bit underneath the overlay, you know? And that's why we've been talking about it for a lot of years.
Right. Right. But, you know, if that pavement is, you know, if you go in and start disturbing that, that's probably one thing, but that is probably so, I don't know how thick that is, but I'm sure, you know, then you
I
have
would
to
imagine
overlay.
you probably got at least 8 inches of
Right.
concrete there, you
Right.
know, on a, it's considered like a major collector. The traffic counts, last time they've done traffic counts in there, I think you're, on the IDOT website, your 1,070 is your daily average traffic count on that
Okay,
collector there.
yeah.
So, you know, that's, it's used substantially, I'm sure a lot of that is, you know, larger loaded,
Yeah, the small, yeah, lots of them down there.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you know, I guess it's up to you guys if you want me to give you a proposal for it. It's something that you're gonna need to do eventually. This project is gonna, as the years go on, just like it's gone up from 2019 to now, it's gonna continue going up in price as the years go on.
You know, yeah, and I guess that's, you know, that's a decision where council needs to decide, you know, where it kind of lists on the pecking order as far as priorities,
Yeah.
so.
I did throw in your packet the proposed road use, what we'll bring in. Our current balance is like 156,000, and we're still bringing in about 7,000 more for this current year. And then estimated to bring in like 138 to 140 for next year, so by the end of fiscal year 26, we should have 363,000, which 375 is obviously not within that budget, plus that would limit us to do anything else.
And that doesn't include the engineering and
Yeah,
that either in those numbers.
Didn't we use a bunch from stormwater down there?
I don't think we ever ended up using any storm down there, did we?
no,
Down in Amos?
no, we didn't need to. Because it was
Wasn't
associated
required
with
to.
a street project, so we could, pay it all out of road use.
Gotcha.
If
Well,
it
we
would-
could if use that as an option.
We're gonna have to save our stormwater for if Fallis develops and,
Yeah, I mean, it's not huge by.
no, we only
right
got
now,
about
but
80 grand
80
in there.
grand in it, so.
We're gonna have nothing in there.
Still be short even if we did use.
Yeah, and if we,
Yeah, that's right, I didn't know how much we had in there.
I mean, that's just stormwater, but you would also pay out of the water fund to do the water main. and
That's
all.
true, the water and the sewer portion of that.
They
would
could
be-
probably handle that portion of it, like 275 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
roughly,
the
yeah.
engineering, so.
We gotta just,
So what do you figure, Mark? Would you figure 10 years out of something like that?
You mean, if you do this
If
project?
we didn't, no, if we didn't do anything out there, if we passed on that and just, you know, kept it the way it is and tried to keep maintaining it as well as we could.
I would expect, you know, and it, again, it varies, but I think you could reasonably expect to have another 4 years out of what you have there. You know, just typically maybe 10 years on something that's maintained well.
Could you do, I don't know, could you do another overlay over that if we start running into issues, or is that something that had to be ground down and then?
Yeah, I think, you know, your issues are gonna come from the reflective cracking, you know, and what's going on with that subgrade there. So, I mean, probably what you would end up doing would be to grind it down to the concrete or even into the concrete a little bit, maybe even pulverize that space there. These are just different ways you can kind of deal with in situ,
Right,
you know, pavement that you may not wanna tear out.
right.
And then do some sort of an overlay on that, but, you know, we could look into that when the time comes.
Do we know when they'll be done with that?
I don't even know when they're supposed to start.
Don't know when they're supposed to start or whether they'll be done even in the next fiscal year, so maybe we'll can still continue to save road use and make that decision when they're done and see how it goes, I don't know.
Yeah, make a plan from there once they're done.
You figured they would notify the city if they're gonna be doing.
I mean, I can't say, I can't imagine, it's only going to the Macocata Bridge, I don't think it's going past that.
No,
It ain't going all the way to Bellevue.
no, cause that other half is done already.
It's already been done for a half.
Yeah,
I think it's from here to the Macocata River.
It definitely needs to be done. That's what-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough shape.
yeah, it's bad. It's
Yeah,
bad.
we haven't heard of start time, when, where, we haven't heard anything.
I don't know, the county, they always used to have like a plan, you know?
Yeah, but it just says a year really is all.
Yeah,
They don't give you specifics.
right, right.
2025, I mean,
Engineer's office, yeah.
Right, I mean, that'd be the next thing, would be to call the county engineer, and
Yeah.
see if he has any idea of timeframe when they're gonna be looking.
You
to
should
do
have some sense by now as to
Right.
what that's
I'm
gonna
sure
be.
it's done, bids are done, everything over soon.
I don't know, my thought is, I'd like to deal with some other projects besides this one.
Yeah, you had some other projects that you'd been.
We got a lot of
receiving.
homeowners that paid a lot of taxes in Middletown that their streets are pretty bad. I'd like to focus on that. I get this whole thing here, but, and if we did that, I'd be more in favor of doing it all, doing sewer, water, all that stuff.
When we can afford it, possibly.
And it's holding,
That's
you know, it
just-
is
right,
holding
mine.
up decently right now, you know,
Right.
you might as well get as much as you can out of that
Right.
and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna speak for anybody else, but I mean, I'm very pleasantly surprised with how it's, you know,
Yeah.
how well it's done. That
Well,
wasn't a,
I think it makes a big deal that you keep up on
Yeah,
your
and that's,
crack sealing, you know.
that was the plan this year, to get an estimate on that, and
yeah,
any of the newer, like School Street and that, just to keep it.
yeah, yeah.
It's been a couple of years, so.
Okay, well, that's good information, for, you know, budget
Yeah.
time, that way we kinda
Yeah,
got an
definitely.
idea of what we're kinda working with and looking at, so,
And it sounds like you guys have heard from Chad Ellis then too, coming in and supposedly.
yeah, I mean, he reached out, was it 3 weeks ago now, maybe, and
Yeah,
kinda out of the blue, so,
and
um,
Eric's relocated the pins again, when the ground was frozen solid. Just to appease him and say, yes, we'll do our part.
Right.
He keeps saying he'll get the building permit to us and get the ball rolling.
yeah, so that's,
Good job, Eric.
Before the snow hit.
We'll see if he moves any dirt or.
Yeah,
Well,
we've
he
been
said
waiting
what-
quite a while.
The
for
silk
something.
fencing he wanted to get done in April and whatever, so.
yeah,
I guess if he starts, then we'll let you know, we'll have to worry about that water.
It's, yeah, the storm sewer project that we conceived of.
well, that's kind of the thing that's just kinda hanging over our heads out there too, you know,
Right.
with all that too, so.
So that would probably maybe take precedence over something over there in the North Main.
Yeah,
Maybe we've kind of committed to that already, if
Yeah.
they proceed with it, so
Yeah.
gotta take care of it.
And we had, you know, we did talk about, kind of the extension of street improvements over in this side of town too, and I don't know if there's some other areas that you guys had in mind, but we can always provide estimates to help you guys with budget planning if an area becomes a priority that you wanna look at.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think knocking that one out last year was a good step,
Yeah.
This whole thing came up just because obviously, you know, with the timing wise, as
Yeah.
far as it happening now, this summer, supposedly, so. That's kinda why we kinda got the ball rolling with this, so,
Makes sense.
so, yeah, so. Okay, does anybody have any other
guys.
Yeah, you too, Mark.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, thanks
seeing
for coming
you.
down, and thank you. Providing your expertise.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you.
Okay, let's jump down to number 8, resolution 2024-21, setting salary for part-time police officer, Tony Irwin. Cheryl, so this was something, I don't know, in the police committee, well, I guess, Adam's here, that's not, but, or Adam, you can touch on this too if you want. So Chad reached out, he's looking to add, another part-time officer and then a reserve officer, which we'll get to. Sounds like, what's the deal, Wes is kinda in and out a little bit more than what Chad
Well,
thought, or?
Yeah, this time of year, Wes does ski patrol at
Oh,
Chestnut.
okay.
So weekends for coverage, if I'm not on or Chad's
Yeah.
not on, not able to cover, and then, Joel obviously has,
Right.
stuff going on too, and,
Right.
I think just to have another guy to fill in when we're not available.
Yep, yep. Okay. And from my understanding, Tony's been an officer for a number of years, and,
Yeah, a long time, I think he worked here years ago, didn't he?
Worked here, yeah, and then he went up north somewhere, worked for a while, and I think he got out of law enforcement for a little bit, but then he was the chief of
Yeah, he was
Sometime.
somewhere, yeah.
somewhere, I can't remember. Now he's worked in Bellevue for over a year.
has he?
Yeah, yeah.
Been their nighttime guy for
Oh,
a year
okay.
now, so that,
Yeah.
I never see him come out days, but.
Yeah.
And I personally, I've only met the guy one time, but he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, I don't have any issues. And if Chad Chad wants to,
Yeah,
I'll take a recommendation from the chief at this point.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are. Yeah. You don't want Chad to, pass up, good help by any means, so it's available.
He's just part-time.
Right.
If he doesn't work out, then you don't use him.
Right.
And I believe it's minimal cost and some stuff he has to do,
Yeah.
but, I'm good with it.
Okay. Adam, you got any input on that, or?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay, unless there's any other discussion needed, I will ask for a motion to approve, resolution 2024-21.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-21, setting salary for part-time officer Tony Irwin.
Second?
Second.
And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
Ned Chardy,
Yes.
Casey Thompson,
Yes.
Dylan Meyer.
Yes.
Number 9, resolution 2024-22, setting salary for reserve officer, Gabe Datson. I know this is something Chad's been kind of talking about for a while, is trying to get, a reserve guy, kind of on the books. Just to, same thing, have some help and kind of have guys in the, in the barrel,
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
program to get someone into
Yeah.
the field, and they get to know firsthand what it's really about. So, I don't know, Gabe's a good kid, he works up at the,
Yeah, Gabe was, he was an intern for me at my last job.
Oh, was he?
With,
Okay.
Conservation, and he did a good job there, and he actually recently, well, I guess, probably a few months ago, started at the jail, in Macocota. So, part-time, and, I think he'd be pretty gung-ho, he'd help out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really wants
He
to.
loves to come down and ride, and he's gung-ho about learning, so.
Well, that's not an easy thing to find anymore these days, it sounds
No,
like, so.
no, it's not.
For sure. Okay, well, good deal. Does anybody have any other questions or discussion needed on that? Okay, I will ask for a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-22, appointing Gabe Dotson as a
please.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
J.T. Thompson,
Yes.
Dylan Ryder,
Yes.
Matt Turner.
Yes. Okay, number 10, discussion on the City of Macoka's communications invoice and payment. So we've been kind of throwing this around for a little while, and I guess, did we talk about it a couple meetings ago, or I don't remember.
I don't know if we really discussed it at a meeting, but,
Well, I guess it was when we were doing the budget,
Well-
was kind of when it got brought up.
right, and when we paid bills at the last council meeting, we approved the bills, that payment was in there, and it brought up just something we needed to address.
Yeah, so I wanted more discussion on this before we just kind of went ahead and paid it, and not to say that, we're trying to hold anything hostage or nothing like that, but I just feel like more discussion is needed on it. I think we've been kind of unhappy with how everything's been, how it's been divvied out, over the last number of years, and things have changed, and that's just the nature of the beast. But again, I guess from our standpoint too, is we need to try to do the right thing for our residents and our taxpayers, and so I feel like, maybe shining a little bit more of a spotlight on this is needed. So Cheryl, you'll see in your packet, kind of typed up a letter, and for my communication with Chad, he was gonna send it over to, their chief in Sonoma, and he was going to kind of get it to his council over there to get their thoughts on it. So I guess I'm just looking for some input on everybody's thoughts on this. If we're okay with kind of sending the letter. I will say too, Wednesday night, there is a mayor's meeting. It's actually here in town, with ECIA. And this is on the agenda to talk about this too. So we'll have more information here probably at the next meeting. But again, I just kind of wanted to throw this out there and kind of get everybody's thoughts on it, and just kind of keep the discussion going on it and
The
see.
feel from the cities that I get is they feel that the county should have some responsibility in possibly levying for this on their, on property tax, on the taxes. And it is on the docket, to discuss through the legislators, so unfortunately, I don't think there's anything we can do for this year, and maybe something will surface next year through legislation, or if we get enough support from all the cities and the Board of Supervisors gets behind it to do something on a county level, that's hopefully the outcome we can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, I think, yeah, and like, there's probably nothing we can do about it this year. It is what it is at this point, but again, I think it's something that needs a little bit more attention and kind of a light shown on it as far as how it's broke down among the cities in the county, and who's getting what and who's paying for what, basically. So, what's your thoughts on it, JT? I'll put you on the spot.
I have a lot of thoughts. Because these are my employees you're dealing with too. So the way the money, paying the city of Macoka runs dispatch. So they're employees, so, and then when all this started, when 911 started, they went, how are they divided this up? This city pays this city pays that.
And then like population in there.
No, it's not by population, it basically started, however they did this formula, how much you use the radios, how many calls, all this stuff. So, this formula is not current, but it's been that way as long as I've been in law enforcement. So, city of Macoka pays a huge chunk, the sheriff's department pays a huge chunk, and I don't know what that percentage is, like 40%, I don't know, something like that, 43%. And then it's divided on all the other towns. But which I understand, like Bellevue is 3 Sebula's the same thing, so I get it's not fair, you know? But, you know, no one's really come up with a great formula. They talked about doing, you know, what's your population and stuff like that. I don't know. This is obviously a bigger discussion than me and Simon. You know?
Right, right.
Some of the counties have gone to, basically, goes out your property tax, you know, it's just you pay for communications and then you go from there. I don't know if the county's gonna be on board doing that, because then they're the tax collectors and you got, I don't know, there's a lot to that, I think. But how do you fund this? I don't know. The way it's been funded, you know, that's just the way it's been. But I think it probably needs discussion, you know. How we fund it, I don't know. But does the county really wanna do all this and then they, you know, cause we control dispatch. I don't know. It's a goofy system, I guess.
Well, and I don't know too, Shirley, I guess you jump in a little bit too. You've had a little bit of correspondence with some other people, other towns,
Other towns.
communities, and, you know, I don't know if anybody's exactly, you know, happy with how everything's broke down, you know, right now. I guess to me, it's just a matter of, you know, it needs to be revisited, it needs to be, you know, looked at, and, you know, updated, you know, you know.
Because if you went by population, city of Macocota would be paying less. So
Yeah.
county would be paying more. You know, Bellevue would pay more. You know, if you went that route.
Right.
Having on property taxes, someone brought about sales tax, I don't know how
Yeah.
they do that. And then who actually pays or who don't pay.
Right.
You know.
So like I said, I mean, we just wanted to have a little bit more discussion on this, and I think we'll probably, I mean, if everybody's good with it, we can, you know, we can send the letter out, and just see where it goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean, really, the mayors and everybody need to get together to change this if they want something else done.
Yeah.
Because you can't go out without service. Because if you don't pay your bill, no one's gonna be able to use the radio. So, that's just how it's gonna be, you know, so.
So I guess we'll have more information too, you know, like I said, that it's on the agenda for Wednesday night's meeting, so we'll have more information, I would assume at the next council meeting. I don't know, to me, you know, you need to start somewhere and
Can't get anything changed, you don't start the conversation.
yeah,
Gotta get it started.
yeah.
I definitely think we should send a letter, for sure.
Oh.
Well, it just lets other communities know that, hey, we're talking about this, you know, we would like to see something maybe addressed here, or revisited, or updated, or however you want, you know. And maybe other communities will jump in, yeah, you know, we haven't been excited with how it's either, and, you know, like I said, you don't get anywhere with this until you start the conversation, so. But like I said, Chad was gonna send it over to, the chief in Sebula, and they were gonna get it to their councils, so. If everybody's good with it, we'll kind of move forward with it and see where it goes and go from there. So. Okay. Anybody have questions on anything with that? Okay. Or want changed?
I think it's pretty well written.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump down to, number 11, discuss and approve the 20E agreement for the Fire District Township of Van Buren. So it sounds like these were what, expired in
They
this-
they were out on January 1 of this year,
Yeah.
so they do need to be updated, renewed for another 5 years. I've heard back from the two that are listed, Van Buren and Washington, talked to their clerks, and they will have it on their trustee agenda at their next meeting, so I guess the process is for us to approve it. We then send it to them, they approve it at their meeting, they get it back to us, and then it's recorded, so then it's good for another 5 years. Waiting on City of Spreadville has a council meeting coming up, and currently they just pay an annual fee for police protection. They're not considered a township, but they've been paying $550 for several years, and they are looking to possibly increase their contribution to like 700 or whatever, but they are going to have a meeting yet, and then there was another township, I think, let's see.
That was 4 of them, wasn't it?
Fairfield, I haven't been able to connect with that clerk. And then Deep Creek Township, who's actually Clinton County, with all their redistricting, I talked to Don Beck, and he said that their attorneys are going to do renew the 2080s, and will get them to us, because they've changed a lot of things, so. The other two are pretty cut and dry. They're already both at the max levy rate that they can get for townships, and I do have their current list of trustees, and they're ready to, update it as well, so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on updating the 2080 agreement for Van Buren?
I'm assuming the previous agreement is it's pretty much just the same, it's just being renewed for another 5 years.
Yeah, and a few name changes and the dates is about all that changed in the actual agreement, so.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion to approve the 2080 agreement for the Tyrone Township of Van Buren.
Make a motion to approve the 2080 agreement for Fire District Township of Van Buren.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Matt Charity,
Yeah.
Dylan Meyer,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
J.T. Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, number 12, discuss and approve the 2080 agreement for the Fire District Township of Washington. So, kind of the same deal here.
Yeah, Van Buren's township clerk is Marilyn Marvin, thank you, and Washington's is Brenda Teddy, so.
Make a motion to approve the 2080 agreement for Fire District Township of Washington.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
J.T. Thompson,
Yes.
Dylan Meyer,
Yes.
Matt Charity,
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes. Okay, other business. We got some good news on the tree board, right?
Yeah. Marcia Camp put together a tree board update packet for everyone. And it said that, oh, AI. Something new. Yeah, we were awarded the grant for the tree planting grant. We haven't heard 100% if it's full 10,000. We did get that news in January, and then we got another email saying that, I think because of the executive order, they're withholding funds from federal grants right now. So we don't know when this money is going to actually come into us, therefore we can't do any purchasing currently to get things ordered and get things going, but hopefully that is maybe it won't be this year, maybe we'll have to wait till, not doing any spring planting and wait till fall or whatever, just kind of depending on how that all. The message from the tree board, they put together a letter that they want to put in our utility bills, just kind of letting people know, hey, we got the grant, this is how we're going to plan on spending the money, and if anyone from the town would like to plant a tree in their terrace, the application process is all outlined in that. We did update some forms for the application. We added the wording, must be nursery stock to the permit application. And, then the tree board guy has been get together and finalized their list on the trees that are allowed in the terrace area, so that has been done. They've been, working hard on this, and Marcia's been doing a lot of research, and they did a great job putting this all together, so. And then the regulations were just updated by bolding some information to make sure that they choose from the approved list and, that they know to prune and maintain is their responsibilities of doing that. And they did get a new, member, a tree board member, Carla Beck volunteered, so she's not on that list, but she will be on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a good deal.
We can talk more about that during the budget workshop on how much to budget for the trees, because currently we always budget $500 out of that, and they rarely ever spend anything, but now that they got a group together and going
Yeah.
to do more, see what we want to put in that for them.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a good thing. Yeah. So, okay, well, we'll kinda, that's good news, we'll kinda wait to see how it plays out at the federal level and go from there. So. And thank you to all them for their hard work on that, that was
Yeah.
time consuming, so.
My mom ain't got nothing to do.
Still matters. Okay, department updates, everybody jump in on seeing what was going on there.
Yeah, the only thing, well, Mark is here, so everybody's pretty much up to date on that, when I sent out the, kind of give you a background on what we can, discuss during budgeting on that. The electric update, the RFQs have been approved and sent out to the engineers, and we posted on the league website, so they're due back by March 21st, so hopefully we'll get some good response for the engineering on the grant, keep that rolling, so. And Ray did attend the energy conference, he said he brought back a lot of information and a lot of good contacts by attending that, so.
Good.
It was worth it.
Okay, perfect.
I don't really have anything else.
Okay. Yeah, the last I had heard, Adam, you can jump into, Chad didn't really have anything as far as any updates on ordinance stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anything has changed recently.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he did send that letter to the property owner with the shed.
Oh, did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay, okay. Okay, so he's on top of it, so. All right, sounds good. Adam, you got anything pressing? Okay. All right, sounds good. Anybody else have anything for other business? You good, T?
Well, good right now.
Okay, sweet. All right, I will, you good, Brian?
Yep.
Want to add anything?
I'm heading over to the ambits,
Okay.
meeting tonight, so.
Okay, sounds
We're
good.
gonna have to go out, so let's happen.
Before I adjourn, I just want to double check. So, okay, with that being said, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Matt Charity,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
J.T. Thompson,
Yes.
Dylan Meyer.
Yes.